everyone, tonight I am going to show you some books that I am currently reading and some ones that are on my list of things to read that I've picked up recently, just to give you a couple of ideas of books that you might want to add to your reading list. So the first three books that I'm going to show you are from an author who is very near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love her work. She wrote The Other Boyland Girl, and just the way her mind works and the way she can tell a story and captivate you just really entwines me in her writings. And so I absolutely love her. This is by Phillipa Gregory, and the first book I'm going to show is called The Lady of the Rivers. And I'm not going to go into book details right now. I'm just going to show you the books that I picked up so you have an idea of what you might like to read. But if you would like a more detailed literature review, definitely leave a comment. Let me know. I'd be happy to do one. The next two books that I picked up are sort of related to each other. One is called The Red Queen, and the other one is called The White Queen. And I have been looking everywhere for this book, everywhere. Her writing is sort of set during the time of the War of the Roses in England. She writes amazing royal fiction type novels, just absolutely romantic, and yeah, they're great. So I can't wait to read this one. I think this will be the first one that I start soon. I have been rereading all of my books that I own. I've actually reread Hamlet again recently just because I'm a Shakespeare freak and love his books. But I wanted to pick up some new things recently, so I decided to grab a couple of books, and I'm really happy they had The White Queen when I went today because it has been sold out. So if you see it, grab it. The next two books that I picked up are from my all-time favorite author, which is Michael Crichton. And my very favorite book that he wrote is called Prey, P-R-E-Y. And it's not something I would typically pick. It's about nanotechnology of all things. I read it in high school randomly, loved it, and I've read it probably 5 times since then. So these are sort of similar, and if you don't know who Michael Crichton is, you should. He wrote Jurassic Park, he wrote the TV series ER. He's, done a lot of amazing books and TV series, movies, things like that. Incredibly talented author. So the first one that I picked up is the newer one, and this is called Micro. And let's see. It's supposed to be really good. I'll read the description. It says, in the locked office of the Honolulu building, 3 men are found dead with no sign of a struggle except for the ultrafine razor-sharp cuts covering their bodies. In the lush rainforest of Oahu, groundbreaking technology has ushered in a revolutionary era of biological prospecting. Here, 7 brilliant graduate students, recruited by a pioneering microbiology startup company, are thrust into a hostile wilderness that reveals profound and surprising dangers at every turn. Prey to a technology of radical and unbridled power. Armed only with their knowledge of the natural world, they must harness the inherent forces of nature itself to survive. So this is one of those scientific thriller type books. I love how I go from romantic War of the Roses type books to science thrillers. And this is supposed to be really similar. This is one of his very first books. This is the Andromeda strain. And I will read the back for you too. It says, the United States government is given a warning by the preeminent biophysicist in the country. Current sterilization procedures applied to the returning space probes may be inadequate to guarantee uncontaminated re-entry to the atmosphere. 2 years later, 17 satellites are sent into the outer fringes of space to, quote-unquote, collect organisms and dust for study. One of them falls to the Earth, landing in a desolate area of Arizona. 12 miles from the landing site in the town of Piedmont, a shocking discovery is made. The streets are littered with dead bodies of the town's inhabitants as if they dropped dead in their tracks. Terror has begun. So, I like Michael Crichton books because they're gripping. They're never dull. You never have a section in the book where you're like, oh, this is boring. I think I'm going to sit the book down and read something else, or go paint my nails, watch a movie. No, his books are gripping, and they're the type that you speed through. They're really good. The next two books that I picked up were, in lieu of my Hunger Games theory, Withdrawal. Hunger Games theory? There's no theory. Sorry, Hunger Games Withdrawal. I am in love with that series. If you have read my blog, you will know that I read all 3 books in 3 days. 1 book a day. 1, 2, 3. They were that insanely good. And if you've seen the movie and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to read the book, please, 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 do not judge a book by its movie. Don't do it. That is the ultimate sin. The books are absolutely amazing. I love a good dystopian theme. So these 2 were highly recommended to me. So I picked them up. The first one is The Maze Runner. And I'll read the description. It says, when Thomas wakes up in the lift, the only thing he can remember is his first name. He has no recollection of his parents, his home, or how he got to where he is. His memory is empty, but he's not alone. When the lift doors open, Thomas finds himself surrounded by kids who welcome him to the glade, a large expanse enclosed by the stone walls. Just like Thomas, the gladers don't know why or how they got to the glade. Excuse me. All they know is that every morning, for as long as anyone can remember, the stone doors to the maze that surrounds them have opened. Every night, for just as long, they've closed tight. Every 30 days, a new boy is delivered into the lift, and no one wants to be stuck in the maze after dark. The gladers were expecting Thomas's arrival, but the next day a girl is sent up, the first girl ever to arrive in the glade. And more surprising yet is the message she delivers. The gladers have always been convinced that if they can solve the maze that surrounds the glade, they might find their way home, wherever that may be. But it's looking more and more as if the maze is unsolvable. So, it's supposed to be a really good book. If you liked The Hunger Games, this is supposed to be a terrific book to read afterwards. And then, last but not least, is Along with the White Queen, a book I have been dying to get my hands on. Could not find it anywhere. Target didn't have it, Walmart. Everywhere I looked was out. So I finally got it from Barnes & Nobles. And it is Tom Westerfield's book, The Uglies. And it's a series, so there are more that goes with it. There are, let's see, The Uglies, The Pretties, The Specials, and The Extras. And the back of the book, I'll read it. It says, Tally is about to turn 16 and she can't wait. In just a few weeks, she'll have the operation that will turn her from a repellent ugly into a stunningly attractive pretty. And as a pretty, she'll be capulated into high-tech paradise where her only job is to have fun. But Tally's new friend Shay isn't sure she wants to become a pretty. When Shay runs away, Tally learns about a whole new side of the pretty world, and it isn't very pretty. The authorities offer Tally a choice: find her friend and turn her in, or never turn pretty at all. Tally's choice will change her world forever. So I have heard phenomenal things about this novel. I cannot wait to read it. So that is the end of the books that I've picked up recently, or just recommendations I thought y'all would enjoy. I hope you guys found this video helpful and maybe found a couple of good ideas to add to your reading list. If you have any suggestions on books I might enjoy, leave a comment below and let me know. I will see you on another video. Thanks, guys. Bye.